And it's Triple H Guy 2004 here on YouTube. I'm here doing a video response to itscjpunkfan on YouTube. He did a video about top 10 WrestleMania matches with WrestleMania 28 coming up around the corner in about 3 weeks. I also wanted to do one of mine. I'm going to start off with Jake the Snake Roberts versus The Undertaker. I remember this match watching. Probably WrestleMania 8 was probably one of the WrestleManias that I first watched as a kid. I remember WrestleMania 9 was the first one that I remember watching from beginning to end, and then that's the one that really got me watching wrestling on a periodic basis was WrestleMania 9. I don't know why, but that was it. But yeah, I remember watching WrestleMania 8. I was into wrestling, but I wasn't into full-blown into wrestling at the time. But I remember this match, watching it on tape a few months after it came out. I think I was, probably 5 or 6, maybe 7, when this when this tape came out. And my dad used to get bootleg tapes from somewhere, I don't know. But I watched it on that. And I remember the tombstone pile driver on the floor, which you'd never seen that before. That was pretty cool. I think the other thing we saw before that was the DDT by Jake Roberts on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on the concrete floor. My number 9 will be Bret the Hitman Hart versus Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart was always an amazing match. They had a great rivalry in 1994. I can't really remember if this was the first match in the series, if it was a SummerSlam cage match. But either way, those two matches were great. But I remember this match specifically that Owen Hart rolled Bret Hart up for a schoolboy victory, and he pinned him 1, 2, 3. I remember going into a Bret Hart. I was rooting for Bret Hart all the way. I didn't like how Owen was treating him. And Owen, just came back and won the match. Bret Hart went on to wrestle one more time, maybe 2 more times, and he won the World Wrestling Federation title at the end of the night. Versus, I want to say, Yokozuna. But, that's not what I'm here for. So my number... And then I remember at the end of that match, in the interview with one of the announcers, Owen had this big old stream of white friggin' snot or spit, whatever the hell it was. It looked like foam. It looked like he was foaming at the mouth. It's really what it looked like. I just remember that too. My number 8 is Triple H versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 17. A lot of people would go with the Triple H Undertaker versus at WrestleMania 27, but I personally love this match at WrestleMania 17, just because WrestleMania 17 was one of the best stacked cards in WrestleMania history, and this match was just awesome. I remember it started off as a simple match, and I watch it sometimes on one of the DVDs that I have that is on, and I remember this match just started off simple. The ref got a ref bump. I don't remember who knocked the ref down, but the ref, I think, got squashed in the corner, and he sold it so well. He literally stayed in the ring for 25 minutes while these two battled it out on the floor. They beat the shit out of each other. And I remember The Undertaker gave him a last ride off. It was really weird where they had the audio type thing. They had a staging, and each stage he went on. And sorry about that, that's my parents. They had staging, and each level it kept knocking him down, he kept knocking him off to different levels. Then eventually he gave him a last ride off one of the levels. There might have been some padding there, whatever, but you know what, who gives a shit? It was still awesome as hell, and The Undertaker ended up winning it with a last ride in the ring. And I remember Triple H had this sledgehammer in his hand when he went to go get it, and he hit him, and he got to hit him with the last ride before he hit him with the sledgehammer. So that's what I remember about that matchup. That was a great matchup. My number 7 is Hulk Hogan versus Mr. McMahon at WrestleMania 19. The street fight. These two men, storyline-wise, whatever, real life, hated each other at this point, and they showed it on camera, and they went back and forth. The build-up was awesome to this match, and they just went out there and beat the shit out of each other and bludgeoned each other. I just loved this match. Let's see. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 will be my number 6 match. Just how it just changed the business so much in front of 93,000 fans. And of course, the soundbite we always hear, the immovable force meaning the immovable, the unmovable force meaning Gorilla Monsoon saying what he said. The unstoppable force meaning the immovable object is what he said. So I remember that soundbite. And then Andre getting slammed at the end and then gets the leg drop in 1, 2, 3 and Hogan wins. My number 5 match is also from WrestleMania 3. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage. I can't really say anything about this match that not anybody doesn't already know. Just this was a classic match, and that's what I'm going with. So I'm not gonna really explain that one. My number 4 might be a little bit controversy because my number 4 is 3 matches. Really, it's all the best of. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. The best of 3 series at WrestleMania 15, 17, and 19. This is the first time that at WrestleMania, other than this year, making Triple H versus The Undertaker, this was the first time that it had ever been done. 3 WrestleManias with the 2 same guys, basically in the main event. I think 19 they weren't really in the main event. 15 and 17 they were in the main event for the WWF title. And then 19 they were, I think, somewhere a little bit down the line towards the main event. They were the second or third last match. Can't remember. But this back then was the first time that this had happened. Rock versus Austin was awesome. All 3 matches were great in their own right. Stone Cold came out on top at 15, 17, and then lost at 19, which I don't mind, because it didn't really have to be finished, even though some people will say that that series hasn't been finished at WrestleMania, but they had so many matches before that. I'm going to go with Undertaker, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25 for my 3rd top 10 most matches at WrestleMania, because this match was just awesome, and just the spots that they did in there. I remember the spot where the Undertaker cracked his head off the camera and then cracked his head off the floor when he leaped over. Shawn Michaels with the moonsault off the top rope through the table. Just spot after spot. Undertaker, I think he hit him with 3 tombstones before he ended up beating him with the tombstone when he went for a move off the top rope and he caught him. I think he went for like a moonsault off the top rope and Undertaker caught him and nailed him with the tombstone. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker remains undefeated at WrestleMania. As you know, because we wouldn't be where we were if he had lost that match. My number 2 match is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13 submission match. This match is one of my favorites of all time, not only at WrestleMania, but one of my favorites of all time, period. I mean, you just had Stone Cold going in there, and he even said it on his DVD that this was a wrestling match. And if you want to see a wrestling match, you go watch this match, because Stone Cold and Bret just battle it out. I don't think Stone Cold knew many submissions, so that's why I think everybody kind of knew Bret Hart was going to win. But Stone Cold made you believe that he might have one down his trick in this match. And then just at the end, you see the Bret Hart snapping in that sharpshooter. after Stone Cold had been busted open, and you see him wrenching up in pain, as Stone Cold's wrenching up in pain, and you see that picture. That is the best one of the Stone Cold said it was the best picture in sports entertainment, and I believe it. That picture of him just wrenching in pain and the blood dripping down into his eyes and his mouth and everything. It was just fucking awesome. No other words to explain that, but that's why I picked number 2, Stone Cold Bret Hart versus submission match. And then you had Ken Shamrock in there, which was kind of cool. And Austin didn't lose that match, but he passed out, so technically he lost that match. So technically, really wasn't a winner of that, but he passed out. He passed out from the pain and the blood. He lost so much blood. My number 1, of course, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels Iron Man match, WrestleMania 12. I go back and watch this match all the time. I just love it. It is one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. If you are wanting to become a wrestler and you want to know what a wrestling match is, you go watch this match. This was 60 minutes, 65 minutes to be exact, of non-stop, just awesome wrestling. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12. Those were my top 10. I'm already at 11 minutes and 27 seconds, so I am going to cut this short. And again, this is Triple H Guy 2004 here on YouTube. Peace.